I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through me. This Bible verse became my life verse when God answered my most important prayer thus far in my young life. I am the youngest in our family. I have 2 siblings, my Kuya Tristan and my Ate Julia. I consider myself an ordinary boy with the tastes and desires of any other boy of my age. But what's so special about me is my complete family and our faithfulness to God. Yes, our complete family. I stress the word complete because my dad and mom get back together after a long separation. I consider this a miracle because I had almost lost hope that they could and would reunite again. You see, every day my dad and my mom did nothing but fight and fight and fight. They would fight here, they'd fight there, they would fight anywhere. Even when they were already separated, they would still fight whenever they would see or talk to each other. If there was a Fighter of the Year award, I'm sure they would both win the award and most probably will fight over it. For many years, I struggled in my situation as a part of a broken family, broken into many tiny pieces which, like Humpty Dumpty, could not be put back together again. I say this because my separated parents were introducing me to a lot of titos and a lot more titas who also became pieces of my broken family. The 3 of us, my kuya, my ate, and I, stayed with my dad because mom had to move out. I was really hurting inside, although I tried to show that I was happy outside. While I knew in my heart that my parents really loved me, which strengthened me somewhat. Still, I tried to cope with the possibility that my dad and mom will never come back together again and that my family will never be complete. Before the separation, school was pretty much okay for me. I was usually at the top of my class when we were a complete family. I say this matter-of-factly without boasting. But I believe that I was really a smart kid because I almost always got a perfect score in my quizzes. But my grades went down when my parents decided to separate. I was so confused that I lost my zest to learn and excel. In fact, I wanted to experience getting a 0 in my exam. So what I did in one exam was I answered all the questions correctly and then erased all my answers and wrote down wrong answers. Pretty soon, getting failing grades became a habit and I did not even try hard to fail. It just came naturally because I was not really studying at all. What's worse, I became hot-headed with my classmates, teachers, and with just about everybody. I would always try to pick fights in school with anybody of my size. With my religious background, I knew that God answered prayers. So I always prayed that mom and dad will stop fighting and that my family will be complete again. That was my prayer day in and day out. It was an impossible prayer request because my parents seemed to be happy in their own separate lives, but I was not. So I kept praying to Jesus for the impossible to happen. Last year, Jesus granted my impossible prayer. The God I prayed to the God of the impossible, finally reached out to my dad and mom, and they came back together again. Our family as one became complete. We all became Christians. We all became Christians and also started attending the Glorious Hope program of CCF. Aside from this, school has become a new experience for us children because we are now enrolled at the TMA homeschool, the best school in the world because this is where I know and feel that my teachers genuinely love me. From Fighter From Fighter of the Year, my parents are now Lovers of the Year. Indeed, my prayers through Jesus once answered in God's perfect way and perfect time. He also provided us with everything we need, and we are much closer now as a family than we ever were before. Truly is God is faithful, good, and all-powerful. I am Kiran Zachary Laksamana Alvarez, 11 years old, a believer in God, and the recipient of a miraculous answer to prayer. I am a still work in progress, but with God's help, I will continue to love Him with all my heart, mind, and soul. To God be all praises and glory. Thank you.
Praise God. Praise God. I'm going to ask the father and the mother, Gary and Karina, to please stand up. The Fighter of the Year, now the Lover of the Year. Praise God.